2025. And everybody needs to pay attention to this. Okay? Representative Paulina Luna. So she introduced the American Privacy Restoration Act to fully repeal the Patriot Act and strip rogue intelligence officers of their extraordinary mass surveillance powers. Since the passage of the USA Patriot Act in the aftermath of 9/11, intelligence agencies officials have used their mass surveillance tools to settle personal scores, interfere in elections, and spy on untold numbers of innocent Americans, including all of us. We were put on the terror screening database watch list, secret categories 3 and 4, non-investigative subjects. How did that happen? The Patriot Act allowed the Pfizer court rubber stamp, which means we did not need due process of law. We were not seen in a court system. The FBI fusion centers and the people involved could just get a Pfizer court rubber stamp. They probably have one at their office. Stamp. And just put whoever they wanted on that list. Once you're on the terror screening database watch list, then you become a target. So now you're considered a second-class citizen. Your rights don't count anymore. No due process of law, no constitutional republic, no Bill of Rights. They can do whatever they want to a terrorist. Oh, but all the illegal nationalists pouring over, getting free hotel rooms, food, money. When the Trump administration tried to send them back over the borders, then all of a sudden the judges in the court system said, wait a minute, due process of law. You can't send them back. But what about all the Americans that aren't getting due process of law? Why aren't the judges standing up and saying, why are you doing the Pfizer court rubber stamp on all these innocent people, non-investigative subjects, due process of law? Do you see how corrupt our country's become? We're in a coup by the terrorist, criminal, CIA, MI6 national security state, the deep national security state that's entangled itself with our legal government, and they become very powerful. And we need to stand up, and we need to write to all our congressmen, the senators and representatives, and demand that Paulina Luna's repeal of the Patriot Act goes through. We need to do this. Everybody has to take a part in this to stop the targeting. You can't hide in the corner, behind a curtain, under the bed. That isn't going to get us anywhere. It's not until the masses wake up that this criminal, torturous program is ever going to end. So I wrote a letter, as Anna Toledo recommended, and I've, of course, added a lot of her comments in there. But I sent it to Director Kash Patel of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Dear Mr. Patel, these are dark times, and our democracy is in peril. Our founding fathers fled the autocratic restraints of Europe to pursue a life of happiness, with liberty, justice, and freedom for all. Now we see our beloved Constitution ablaze in a 5-alarm fire, with extreme corporate abuse and misuse of governmental programs, profiteering at the expense of we, the people. The terror screening database, masquerading as a counter-terror surveillance system, is a sleazy corporate enterprise of secret systems and programs run by half a dozen governmental departments with the highest classified clearance. They share the list of subjects with 60 foreign governments, 18,000 American federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, and countless companies, from private security contractors to airline workers. These were some of the quotations I got from the CBS report on terrorist watch list. But the watch list only forms less than probably about 0.5% of the terror screening database, while 97% of the terror screening database watch list consists of people that do not meet the terrorist criteria. Get it? Morons out there? Like, at the most, 3% consists of real terrorists and terrorist supporters, if even that. But most likely, maybe 1 or 2%, or even less than that, 0.5%. And yet all these people have been put on this McCarthy-era blacklist, and their rights have been taken away, their Bill of Rights. So now, when you're considered a terrorist, these deep CIA and FBI criminals can treat you any way they want. Because now you're a terrorist. The cartels aren't considered terrorists, or they weren't under the Biden administration, right? They're not considered terrorists, but we're considered terrorists. You know? So due process of law isn't working for us. It works for all the illegal nationalists pouring over our borders when, the judges jump up and say, oh, due process of law. You can't send them back. They have to go through the court system. Well, what about all the hundreds of thousands of people in this country that have been put illegally on that list and didn't go through due process of law? What the hell is that? So this letter, Director Kash Patel, Dear Mr. Patel, anyway, I went along with it. And now, this is what Anna Toledo said, and I inserted a few words here and there. Consistent with President Trump's executive order 14,147, directing the executive branch to eliminate government weaponization, this is to request that you order the immediate removal of my name from any of the two categories that as of December 2024 were referred to as handling codes 3 and 4 of the terrorist screening database. And if I happen to be in handling codes 2, which is highly illegal and unethical, remove that too, since I am an innocent, law-abiding citizen. I am an American citizen that does not meet the reasonable suspicion terrorist criteria to be included in any category of the terrorist screening database or any criminal list for that matter. I am one of the non-investigative subjects in those two categories that comprise 97% of the list, despite our lack of ties to terrorism, all of whom are victims of governmental weaponization. And then it goes on to say, under the guise of Section 702 of the FISA, 50 U.S.C. and 1881A, and devoid of probable cause required under the Fourth Amendment, rogue woke FBI agents greedy for bonuses have falsified information to the FISA court to obtain and renew warrants directed at illegally spying on the undersigned. I am one of the 278,000 victims against whom Deep State FBI has been seriously and systematically abusing its warrantless electronic surveillance authority. Christopher Wray, a.k.a. the Rat, I threw that in there, and Shaw Cable, FBI and Terrorist Screening Center directors, respectively, abused the law. In doing, they obliterated the privacy and lives of many. During your involvement in exposing the Steele dossier, you personally corroborated that FBI applications were filed to fraudulently obtain a FISA warrant to spy on non-investigative subjects, which relied on unsupported, inaccurate, or omitted information. What have you done to scrutinize and throw out those bogus warrants? Despite the horrific abuses to my civil rights perpetrated as a result of the FBI's past criminal conduct, we have not seen that you have done anything yet to stop the privacy and civil rights abuses those hundreds of thousands of law-abiding Americans continue to endure every day as a result of their improper inclusion on the terror screening database, including but not limited to redirecting, intercepting, and surveillance of all phone communications, use of stingray devices to hijack calls, listen in, and record without warrant or probable cause of the commission of a crime, intercepted and undelivered emails, slander and defamation of character by the FBI and other intelligence agencies through the publication of my name on the terror screening database to be distributed through the NCIC, more than 18,000 law enforcement, 600 corporations, and 1,200 organizations, as well as in the Mars database, affecting our social and professional endeavor. Perpetrate slander, torturous interference, and influence upon third parties to sabotage professional or social relations. Perpetration of lawfare that weaponized courts consistently adjudicate adverse to us. More than 83 days have elapsed since your confirmation. This is plenty of time for you to have tackled what should have been a priority on your list, to bring down the deep state. A hit to its crown jewel, the program, by ordering the removal of all non-investigative subjects from the terror screening database, bringing to a halt the illegal surveillance, hacking, and harassment we are subjected to 24/7. This constitutes a formal request that you remove my name and all references to me or my property from the terror screening database with urgency, that my protected rights under the U.S. Constitution and President Trump's executive order 14,147 against governmental weaponization requires. Please advise, sincerely, me, Marlena.